Go live. Hello, everyone. Are we live here? Can you see us? Can you hear us? I really hope so. And if this is the case, then it's time to introduce our special guest today. Hello, Brittney. Thank you so much for taking your time and being our guest here for our next Eluveitie Sphere. Brittney Slaves from Unleash the Archers. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Brittney.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for coming here and taking out your time and being here with us for tonight.
No problem at all.
So how are you doing? Where are you at the moment? Are you in Canada?
Yes, yeah, I'm in Vancouver, just right outside of sort of the downtown core. And it's turning into a nice day. It was kind of crappy at the start, but it's getting better. So it's typical winter time in Vancouver. There's been a lot of rain. So.
It's still winterish. You don't have spring yet? No.
No, I don't know what's going on. I think it's starting. I think the sunshine here that we're seeing these last couple of days, I think is maybe a sign that the spring is coming. But for a while there, it was like, what the heck is going on? It's so cold still.
Oh no.
5 degrees.
Still, but did you have a lot of snow actually this winter?
We had a lot more than we usually get. Yeah, and apparently just thanks to global warming, it's going to be something that we have to get used to. So yeah, we had snow for about a month almost. I mean, most of it snowed like 3 or 4 times, and then it just kind of sticks around. So it's not like crazy, getting a foot of snow every day or anything like that. But we definitely got a lot more than we usually do. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Did you go snowboarding or skiing or something?
No, I haven't done that in years.
Me too.
Yeah, it used to be. I used to love it, and then it just kind of fell by the wayside when music sort of took over my life. Yeah.
Hey, same for me as well. I mean, it takes quite a lot of time. You need to have the equipment, and it costs also quite a lot. It sums up everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then when the time is a little bit tight, then it's maybe not priority number 1. But actually, when you're on the skis or on the snowboard, right, it's just the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. Just kind of going as fast as you can, and that's what I'm like. Oh man, like if I were to fall and like break a wrist or something, like I would. This is bad. That would prevent me from being able to tour and everything. And I'm like, oh man, trying to hold a microphone with a broken wrist or something.
Yeah, but that's something else, especially when you're maybe guitarist or drummer, then then you can't do anything anymore then. So it's also it's quite risky in a way. That's actually
never
true.
go snowboarding with the whole band.
True. That's true. You can go band camping, but not band boarding. That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, but actually in Vancouver, I think the nature is incredible, isn't it? I mean,
it's
a lot of mountains and
yes, I mean you have the ocean right there and the mountains right there, and it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet. I'm severely biased, but I think it's one of the most beautiful places.
Wow. Did you grow up there or you moved there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We lived in like central Canada for a little while, but only for when I was really little, like age 1 to 6 or something like that. So most of my memories are in Vancouver. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, must be an amazing place to grow up. So much nature around. Yeah, cool. This is also where you met your guys? Like also everybody from Vancouver?
Yeah, well, actually Victoria, which is the whole west coast of BC, has a big island off the side of it. And the capital of our province is on that island, Victoria. And so Scott and I went there for university, and that's where we met. And then Grant and Andrew were in Victoria in their band, trying to make a go of it. And we all just kind of found each other and then moved over to Vancouver to kind of give it a go in the big city, that kind of thing. So,
oh yeah. All right. Oh, so awesome. Okay. But you're a Canadian band full force. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So you were actually on North America tour, I guess Canada and US now, right? In December and in September and so on.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We did. It was the U.S. in September, and then we were supposed to have a couple Canadian dates on the December leg of things, but then like literally the day before we were supposed to cross the border,
No.
all of the regulations changed and all of the shows had to be canceled in Canada. So it's just like, oh, I thought this was done. I thought this was over.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
wasn't.
very frustrating. So we actually only ended up touring the US for the whole year. So, yeah, it's pretty
Oh man, oh man. Okay, but then in December as well, or
yeah, so when we toured in September, there was a problem and 5 shows ended up having to get canceled. So we rebooked those sort of. We rebooked where we could on such short notice, as close to those cities as possible.
Yeah.
We rebooked those 5 shows in December and then added a few more cities along the way. So December was very unplanned and it wasn't supposed to be that way. But
yeah.
right, so then we ended up doing a second US tour to make up for. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was definitely, it was hard though. I mean, booking a tour, even though it was a short one, but booking a tour in 6 weeks.
Yeah, still with both of the support bands the same, everybody the same, the whole. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of people involved for such a short notice. Yeah. Wow.
But we had to cancel the Europe tour in order, because of that. So that was why we did it. We were supposed to be touring Europe in November, December, and then all the promoters and our booking agent and everyone was kind of like, things are not, going well. So we were like, damn it, and we canceled that. But then that's what allowed us to rebook those dates.
Perfect. Okay, at least that. So is it gonna be rescheduled, your tour in Europe, or?
I don't think so. We are just gonna start working on a new record. We're just like so done with booking everything and then having to cancel it. So done with that. And having things canceled in the middle, or regulation changes happen in the middle of the tour and all of a sudden we can't go to a certain country, so we're just like, no, we're working on a new record and hopefully everything will be done by the time that's ready to go, and then we'll do it all over again.
Oh man, all right, that was actually just what I was thinking. You released an album actually in 2020. I mean, that was in the beginning. You guys didn't know, right, when you scheduled the release, it's like, I mean, it's scheduled like ahead, and then you had to release it during this whole lockdown situation. How was that?
Yeah, well, we were in the studio in January, and so we were there and we were kind of hearing all these whispers about issues in China. Yeah. So we were like, this is weird, and like not really concerned about it though quite yet. And so we got home at the end of the month and we were like, okay, here you go, Napalm, let's go for a June release. And they were like, okay, sounds good. And then we go out on tour with Dragon Force at the beginning of March, and of course 6 days into that, COVID reaches North America. And in the middle of the tour we are just like, ship all the merch back, like get on a plane, we need to go, like they're closing the border, we are going to be stuck in the United States. And and so it was very upsetting. So we like went home and we were just like, this sucks. And that's when we all started Twitch streaming, because we were just like, well, we gotta do something, we gotta hang out with these fans that we just screwed over. So we all started Twitch streaming, and then Napalm was like, well, let's, things aren't looking good. All the factories that print vinyl and CDs and stuff are shut down right now. So let's push it to July. And so I was like, okay, sounds good.
Okay.
And then 4 weeks go by and nothing has changed. And in fact, things are getting worse. And they're like, let's push it to August. And we were like, okay. And by that time we had come out of lockdown. So we were busy working on music videos and stuff, and organizing all the merch, and there was so much to do. So I wasn't really like thinking about what was going on out there. I mean, it sucked and everything, but and like all the stuff getting canceled. The festivals, we had like 15 festivals booked for that summer, and and the tours, we had like almost kind of a world tour booked for the fall.
Oh man,
the record. And so just watching all that get destroyed, basically, I was just like, I was just in the worst place ever. So I'm just like, I just need to focus on this record. And then Napalm came back and was like, okay, we're pushing into 2021. And then I was like, no.
Enough is enough.
Guys, but I'm not in a good place right now, and I need new music. So I don't want to take this from people. I think it'd be good to have something to look forward to. And like, I was on Spotify every day being like, who's releasing new music? Like, what can I listen to? What can keep my mind off of all of this? And so Napalm was like, like, you're one of the only ones going forward, like everyone else is. I was like, I don't care. I was like, we need to do this. And they're like, okay, we'll give it a try. And it was awesome. It was one of our best releases we've ever had. We didn't get, of course we couldn't tour it, but I just put my nose to the grindstone and did every single interview that got offered, and was just kind of like, let's do our best to stay out in front of people, and Twitch stream like crazy, and just did our best to kind of do digital touring, I guess. Just try to be in front of everybody.
Exactly.
So it was difficult, but I think it was definitely worth it. I'm so glad we didn't push it, because I would have had nothing to do. That would have just been like the most boring year of my life.
And now you actually had so much time for the release. As you said, you could do every single interview, you could do stream, but you did a release stream show.
We did, we got we rented a venue and just put cameras like everywhere. There was 8 cameras, and so we played to the cameras like they were the audience, and live streamed it, and then did a replay of it a week later again for people that missed it. And it was a lot of fun. It was weird. It was definitely weird, like being like, how's it going, everybody? Get on your seats, let's go. And it's just like a guy with a camera, and like they were really nice though. They would like come over behind, they'd be like behind the lens, and like doing their best to like keep us
keep you guys going, and
keep the energy flowing. But it was definitely really weird, and everyone was like, so this could be like the new norm, and I'm like, no, I need an audience. So it's pretty funny.
What were you missing the most? I guess also the interaction and the energy that comes from the audience that was missing, right?
For sure. And like when people are singing the lyrics back at you, and just like there's nothing else like a live show. Nothing, no live stream can ever match it. So
no, that's absolutely true. Did you actually play with sound on the PA like loud, or just in your in-ears?
Well, I think it was on the PA, because it was actually really funny, because this was our first time ever doing a live stream or whatever, or anything like that. And our sound tech was doing the run through with us the day before, and he had this new like board and everything that was doing, I don't even know. I honestly don't know how he did it. He's just so bloody talented that we took our ears out and we were looking at the crowd. We're like, what do you guys think? And they were like, oh no, we can't hear anything. It's and we were like, what? Because his like reverb that he put in there, and like he had like area mics and everything. So it's just, we were the only ones that could hear him. We're just like, this sounds incredible, but no one else in the room could hear it.
No.
No, we can't do that. So he put it in the speakers for the actual stream, but it was very funny. We were just like, holy crap, way to go with the new sound system, And, it was really funny. We all were just like laughing at each other like dummies, because we were just like giving her up there so hard, and poor people.
And nobody could hear it. Must have looked pretty funny, actually. Everybody like doing this and nobody actually can hear it. Yeah.
No. And like all they can hear is me, really, and the drums.
And the drums.
So like, yeah. And we jam like that too. Like we just jam with our in-ears. The boys have started using cabs or whatever because they're doing other projects, but it's most of the time all you can hear like through the walls in our jam spot is just me and Scott.
Yeah.
So it must be really like, what are they playing?
Very
like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god. And you played actually so many new songs, so there was quite a lot to actually prepare, and playing it for the first time on a live stream, these songs. I mean, must have been quite a nervous feeling to it.
It absolutely was. And at the end we were like, oh man, we screwed up so many things, and like this is gonna be on the internet forever. Like this is our legacy, it's like us just destroying these songs live like for the first time. And it's like, oh, we afterwards we were like, well, that sucked. The pressure, I don't know about, like, I don't know what it is, but the pressure of knowing that it was like being recorded, and not only that, but everything was going to the board. So like every single mistake could be picked out and heard, and it's so performing live where it's like, I screwed that up tonight, but I can do it better tomorrow. This is like, you got one shot. It's not a fun kind of pressure.
Yeah. It's quite a different feeling if it goes right through this mixing board desk thingy and they can hear everything, or if it's live with the whole venue, it swallows more, right?
Right. Yeah.
You have a bigger playground. It's okay if some notes maybe are not perfect. You cannot hear it, but if it goes through the desk.
I definitely listened afterwards. Because he's like, I've got the whole thing. We can do like a live mix, whatever, one day if you want. And I listened to it. I was like, nope, never. I was like, you'd have to auto-tune the crap out of that. And that's just me being picky. But I just, no.
Yeah. But hearing yourself like this live, it's hard. How long did it take you until you dared listening to it, or did you listen right away?
It was a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like I knew, I was like, oh, I screwed that up, and this is bad, and it's also the first time performing them live, so it's not, you don't have all the things down yet. The parts where it's like, oh no, I'm gonna do this instead, or like, oh, I need to push harder here, or like, oh, if I can't make that vowel sound like I want it to, so I need to change that up so that it's easier to control, or place it somewhere else, that kind of thing. So because that comes with time and just doing it, and doing the song, practicing it over and over again, playing it live over and over again. There was a couple, like, it's really funny because there's a couple songs that seem like they should be easy, but because they're kind of a little bit more low energy, I have to work harder to stay in pitch with them. Can't like belt that to hit the note. I've got to be a little more controlled. So it's just like a learning curve for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's a routine, right? And when you tour, once you toured with the songs, then your place here, your place on stage, how to perform. Yeah, definitely. And that was really, you guys were thrown into the cold water then, actually.
I was just like, what were we thinking? Oh man. But we had nothing, we needed to do an album release party. We needed to do something. And so, we practiced a lot, but it was still just kind of like, oh God, like not only are we playing these songs live for the first time, but we're recording it and letting the whole world watch.
Why do we do this to us? Oh man. Is it still available for everybody that is watching, maybe on YouTube, you said, right? Or
no, we never put it out there because we just maybe one day. We have what happened was the footage got all put onto one hard drive, and then that hard drive like malfunctioned, and we were no longer able to access the files. So I was kind of like, oh, it sucks. And so I had this like burnt out hard drive with all the footage on it, all the camera angles, everything. And
Oh.
so I just kept being like, oh, I gotta get this off here. I gotta get this off here. Finally, I went to a guy that was like, oh yeah, no, I can fix it for you. And it was like $1,500 because it was an actual physical moving parts that had broken. So finally got that done. So I have the footage, but then now it's kind of like, okay, so now I need to sit down and like, because there was, it was live. So there were parts where, the guy that was in charge of, the whole stream and everything didn't realize that a guitar solo was happening. So he's like on me, like taking a drink of water. I was like, no, that should be over here. So there are some camera angles and stuff that we need to change. I didn't want to just take the whole thing and plunk it on the internet, as it was. So it's just taking some time, but eventually, I think we will put it on the internet.
Oh my God, I cannot believe it's exactly such an important thing, and the hard drive just stops working. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone was like, get this up on the internet, and I was like, I can't. It was horrible. Yeah, it's just I think it was like, I don't even know, it was just an old hard drive.
Oh man, but okay, we are happy to hear that you have the footage now, and maybe sometimes everybody can see it on YouTube or wherever, on DVD, who knows, whatever you guys have planned.
I don't know about DVD on that one. I think we'll do a different one for DVD.
Maybe.
Time ever playing all of those songs out, YouTube is different, but Uh-oh, I think my internet just cut out.
Oh, I think you're back. We have you again. Okay. Very good. Very good.
Hopefully it wasn't frozen on like a weird face.
Oh, that's always right. Always this grimace. Oh, that's always the worst. But you're back. You're alive. Exactly. Then we're safe. Yeah. Hey, but you said it was one of your like most successful releases. Not only probably because you had a lot of time, but maybe do you also think because actually also a lot of people like didn't release music, that's why you were more exposed, or it's because it's one of your best work? Or I mean, how was it for you, like this whole release?
I think it was because so many other people pushed their albums, so we didn't have, like, people were putting out records, but we didn't have nearly as much competition as usual. So, people that listen to metal or whatever, and they go to the new metal releases section of Spotify, it was like us and two other records on there for, that weekend. So, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, all right, well, let's check this out or whatever, So I think that had something to do with it. But it was also a pretty different record for us because it was the first time using synth. We'd always, so it was a bit of a different sound, and it was a much brighter, more uplifting record. So a lot of people kind of listened to it and were like, oh, like, okay, I like this, like, oh man, the world sucks right now, everything's on fire, but this makes me feel happy. So I think a lot of people really enjoyed just the general sound of the record as well. So I think we kind of had a bit of a 1-2 punch there with that. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's so energetic, and I think this is also what was needed during this time, especially, right? I mean, just to having this kick, then when sitting at home alone, maybe even, then this is like bringing you to a new universe, actually.
Yeah, right, exactly. I wanted it to be an escape for people. I wanted them to be able to listen to it and forget about the real world and just kind of be taken into this story, in this place that wasn't real life, and it seemed to work for a lot of people, so I'm really glad.
So actually, talking about the story, it's like a second part, or like the story continues from the previous album you had, or how is that exactly? It's a concept album.
Yes. So we released Apex in 2017, and originally what we were going to do was like a two disc record. And but as we were writing the first half, Apex, we were just kind of like, okay, we've got the studio booked in December, and it's August and we've got like 3 songs written, and we didn't want to rush everything. So we just decided, you know what, let's just do the first album and then focus on those songs, give as much time as we possibly can to every single track, and then do the second half later. So Apex and Abyss were always, you know, they were written at the same time. The story was pretty much fleshed out from the beginning. I mean, I made some changes after Apex came out, and just, you know, new things and new influences and stuff like that. But so it was always going to be 2 records. And then we released Abyss in 2020, and it was very much, Apex was like this kind of grounded fantasy record, and then Abyss was this more ethereal kind of science fiction record. So that was always kind of the plan. But yeah, telling one story
Okay.
over both of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and who came up with this story? Do we do this as a band, or is there somebody like responsible for it, or?
Yeah, I wrote the story, and what I did was I did it as like a track by track kind of a thing. So I had an outline, and what it would be is, you know, chapter 1, aka track 1. This is what's going on in the story. This is how I want the listener to feel. This is what I was thinking the song should sound like. And this is, if sometimes I'd say this is a track that you can maybe use as an influence or, you know, inspiration or that kind of thing. So I would kind of just give a little bit of a synopsis of the story, and then just be kind of like, let's make this one like really fast and heavy, but uplifting, but, you know, like that kind of thing. And then I gave that to the boys. And for Apex, Grant and Andrew shared the writing duties, but for Abyss, it was all Andrew, because we wanted to focus a lot on the synth side of things, and he's really good on the computer with all that sort of stuff. So he kind of, I think a lot of the riffs started with synth, and then some songs it was guitar first, of course. But so yeah, the boys would just kind of look at one of the tracks and be like, oh, you know, I was thinking of this riff or that. What do you think? And they'd send it to me, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's perfect. Or I know it's not quite the right vibe, you know, it needs to be more this or that or whatever. Or I'd say, oh, that's really cool, but that's not, no, it's definitely this song, not that song. And then so we kind of would start with those riffs and we'd slot them in. It was really funny because I was actually doing the same thing for the next record and putting it up on the drive for everyone. And I was looking at all the old assets for the old records, and there was like a photo that I took of the whiteboard in the jam spot where it's like track 1, you know, and then the name of the riff that we had invented, like all these silly names.
Yeah.
Baby Scott and like Genty Boy and like, you know, like the soil worky riff, like so like yeah, so that's kind of how it starts. And then but then that way we can, especially with Abyss, it was really important to me that they flowed and that they all felt like, you know, like kind of just this, like the movement through a movie, like a very cinematic quality. You know, this is where we sort of see what's going on, and then we get emotionally attached to our protagonist, and then they hit a bunch of trouble, and then the cathartic moment, and then, you know, the end and that kind of thing. So it was really important. So we were kind of writing everything all at once, like keeping everything in mind all at once and being like, yeah, but remember, this is the riff for that track. So like, we can't really have that right after it. We need to put, you know, a little bit more of this kind of a vibe so that everything just flows really well. And it worked really well. So we're just going to keep writing that in that same way, I think, probably until the end of time.
Wow. All right. Hey, this is actually very interesting. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, I think there's something with it. Very good. Yeah, I just remember this with these working titles, right? It's so dangerous that, but not that you're going to be on stage and saying the next song is called What's Genty Boy or something, right? Because they're so stuck in your head.
True. We definitely have had that, like, oh, like we're still working on the song and we're like, let's try it live, and it's like, this one's called, like whatever. It's really funny. Yeah. Like, well, that's on someone's, you know, iPhone footage somewhere for all the time. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but you are the one writing the lyrics, or that's a mix, or how does it work?
No, yeah, lyrics is all me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the boys will be like, "Oh, it sounds like you should say this word there," and I'll be like, "No,"
No.
or I'm like, "I'll try and work it in there," like. But there was one part where there was like I can't even remember what it was, but like the riff ends with like a ba 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 ba, and then Scott was like, "You should say go shopping at the mall."
Go shopping at great.
Great lyrics. We're in space right now on a spaceship fighting bad guys, but yeah, let's just
But
put
yeah,
go shopping at the mall
yeah.
in there.
Thank you for your input.
No, it's a lot of the time. This is why I love writing the story beforehand, because when it comes time to actually lay down the lyrics, I have a really good idea of exactly what I want to say, and the song has already been written around the feeling and the emotion of that part of the story. So it's I just ripped through the lyrics for Abyss because it was just like I knew exactly what needed to be said, and there were some points where I was kind of like, oh, what word do I use? Or I think the hardest one was Wind That Shapes the Land, but that's just because it was such a bloody long song and it was all vocals like through the whole thing. So there was a lot of points where I'm like, how do I say this without actually saying it? And like but other than that, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then it needs to fit the rhythm of the melody, and also then the vowel should be, if possible, an open one if you want to have a long and powerful note, right? You cannot just use all the vowels for every part of the song. It just needs to fit everything. Yeah.
Kind of like, you know what you want to say, but you need to figure out how to plug it in there so that it sounds right and flows.
Exactly. But how do you do it? So if, like, let's say your boys make more the music and you come with the lyrics and the melody, do you first put the melody on top then, or do you have a melody maybe also in mind and the boys do under?
Oh, sorry, it's frozen again. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
No, it's usually what happens is I'll wait until the whole song is written, including the drums, because I write quite a bit influenced by the drums as well. So I will try and, and wait as long as I possibly can before writing. And I'll always start with the melody and I'll just do like gibberish. So I'll put the song into Logic on my computer, and then I'll have like a crappy microphone and I'll just be like, and then once I've decided I like the melody, then I'll put the lyrics in and make sure that it works with what I've decided.
Oh wow, so you write the lyrics to the melody, so you really need to make it fit. That's
exactly.
Can be a challenge, but can also help in a way. Can be a little bit both, right?
I find that sometimes if you get attached to words before you figured out exactly the notes that you want to say, going to put them in there, and it's just not right, or it's just not right for the part. And you're just like so attached to that word that you force it, and it's it's just not working. And really what you should do is try something else, but it's just like, but I really want to say this. So that's why I try to leave the words to the very end, so that I'm not like shoving them into a part where they just don't fit or don't belong. But then sometimes the melody itself will be like, oh, well, I have to say this word there. Like it just comes to me as I'm singing, as I'm figuring out the melody. And so I'm like, okay, well, so the whole thing is blah, 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 yes, blah, blah, whatever, like it'll just be gibberish until this word that I figured out at the end of the phrase or something like that. So
how can be some kind of guideline as well, can be quite a help. All right, that's interesting. But you said once that like the boys sent you stuff, so it means you're actually working also remotely, like at home alone? You're not like meeting up and jamming on the music, or how is that?
Not really. Most of the time what we do is Andy will write like demos. So he'll do it up on his what's it called? It's like the most popular recording software in the world, and I can't think of the word.
Logic, Pro Tools, Cubase. Pro Tools. Yeah.
So he'll do it on there, and then like create a whole sort of demo, and he'll put the drums, like just quick drums in and everything, and send it to us. And then if we like it, we'll be like, yeah, cool, let's work on that. And then he'll do a version without drums for Scott, and or we'll be like, this part's kind of weird, or like, let's rework this, that, or the other, and then we'll just kind of put it aside, and he'll keep working, and then we'll come together, after probably 4 or 5 demos, and work on them all together, and just be like, okay, well, let's take a look at this one, or take a look at that one, or whatever, and anything that we feel like we kind of have to work out together in the space. But up until that point, it's all just us being kind of throwing things back and forth over the internet. Which is so great. It's so awesome that you can do that now. That's why there's so many international bands where there's like people all over the world, and it's like, how did you write a record when you're so it's really great.
Just remotely Dropbox or Google Drive or something just helps.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. Google Drive. Like we ended up having to pay for more storage because it's just like we just put everything in there. Like it's so great. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. All right. And then, so you recorded it alone, or you went to a studio, or how do you do it?
Yeah, we decided we wanted to. Sorry, I froze again. My bloody internet down here is the worst. Can you see me?
Maybe it's also from my side. I have no idea, but let's hope we're both back. I think so. You're moving. Good.
Oh my God. It's this cave that I'm in right now. I'm literally in a cave.
Looks great though.
Oh no, this is fake. You can see it's fake. This is my old room. Yeah.
Aha! Hey, sometimes I saw that it doesn't match, but sometimes my brain doesn't make the the conclusion. Yeah. I didn't even think. Oh wow! This is fake background. Looks cozy though.
It was when I had this room, and so I was like, I took a photo.
Now it's storage room.
Yeah, and so this is like my background for interviews and stuff like that. And now I'm like, this room is going to be like this one day, but we've been in the middle of renos for like months. So, and everything is back ordered. I don't know if anybody knows this, but like the building materials world is back ordered like 6 months, like everything. So we've been waiting forever. But anyways, yeah, it sucks. So
shit, this sucks.
Yeah, which is why I haven't been streaming, and everyone's like, just whatever. It's like I can't stream in the living room because then that's removing Scott, and it's kind of like, what? He's just gonna be in there while I'm streaming. Like I just feel bad. So, but so we decided that because we tend to like I don't know. It's not really mess around, but we like having studio time booked, and it's like, this is the time that we have, and we need to get it done in that time. Otherwise, we'll second guess things, or we'll be like, oh, maybe we should change that. But it's like, no. You have this much time to record, and it's this much money, and you need to get it done. So that's why we like going to studio and recording.
Yeah.
We call it a destination record.
Destination record. I like that.
So we all moved to Denmark for 4 weeks or whatever.
Wow.
And just lived in this cute little beach house because it was off season. So we were in this little beach community, and no one else was there. Like we literally had the whole place to ourselves. And I just lived in this little cottage kind of a thing, and recorded with Jacob Hansen for the month. And then went home and he mixed and mastered, and we did all the Zoom calls and all that sort of stuff to figure things out if there were any issues. But for the most part, we were just kind of like, here you go.
Wow. Wow. You were with Jacob Hansen in this. I just heard the best about, you can go to the beach. If you need creativity, if you need inspiration, you just go to the beach, you come back, it feels good. Nature is just around. Must be beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. We really enjoyed it. So we did Apex with him as well.
Wow.
So it was really important to us that both records had that Jacob Hansen sound. So yeah. I'm not sure if we'll go for the next one because Andrew really wants to try like recording us, doing that side of things. So we'll probably still use Jacob for the mix and master. But Andrew's getting really good at the whole engineering side of things. So we'll probably do that with him this time, I think. We'll see how it goes, how he feels, Don't want to put too much pressure on the guy. He's already writing the record, so it's like, here, do everything.
Yeah, do everything, please.
There's always one band member that takes the brunt of everything, but we don't want to, we got to share the burden.
But too much is too much. Yeah. But if he wants, then what can you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We won't stop you.
Exactly. But so this means you're already thinking about the next album. I heard now a little bit. So can you tell us anything? Or
no,
not really. I thought so. I tried though.
Right. It'll be another concept record. I just really like writing concept albums. So but it'll be completely different. I'm just gonna give the whole Immortal saga a little bit of a break. So it'll be something completely new. And we're always trying to experiment with new sounds and new influences and that kind of thing. So hopefully it'll be something new and exciting. And it's just like everything takes 6 months to do these days. So that's why we're kind of starting it now, so that we can get it into Napalm's hands like a year before. So that I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time someone releases an album, it's like, okay, vinyl will be ready in October, and then it's like, okay, vinyl will be ready in February. Like,
exactly.
Okay, push back again. So
and again. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good to be in time. Very good. Did you always like these stories? Are you a nerd in a way? Like you like comics or you like musical theater?
I got my Yoda shirt on.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I got quite a few. I got The Witcher and a lot of comics and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely have been a science fiction fantasy nerd most of my life. So I love writing stories. I love reading stories. So I've been super influenced by comics and video games and movies in my writing. So it just kind of comes through.
Yeah. And are you thinking, I've read something that you're thinking about doing some kind of book or some print, or what is this about?
Yeah, I have an artist that I'm working with for doing graphic novels of the Apex and Abyss stories. So it's kind of it's a huge undertaking. So it's taking a while, but what I want to do is have full graphic novels for both stories, so that everyone can get all the details that are up here that I can't portray through the music. So they kind of got a little bit of a taste of that with the yearbook. And I'm working on another project as well, so that's first. And then I also wanted to make a D&D adventure out of the Apex. So I'm working on an adventure guide, and there's quite a few things. So that's also one of the reasons why we're taking our time with the new record. I kind of did the outline and was like, here you go. Like, okay, I'm going to work on this other stuff for a little while here. But yeah, there's quite a few things on the go that are hopefully going to satisfy all the nerds out there.
All right. Oh, this is awesome to hear. All right. This is so cool. This is so much work. Yeah.
And I'm just like adding more onto my plate every day. Like,
more is more.
We should do this. Like,
yeah, why not this? And this merch and another book and DVD. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you have quite some work coming, but you also have Twitch, right? This is another thing. You also have your personal Twitch, and you have a band Twitch, right?
Yeah. So we do D&D once a month on the band Twitch.
What is D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons. So it's like a role-playing game.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're just kind of doing an ongoing story with that, and it's just kind of like a fun way to hang out with our fans, you know, and keep in touch with everybody. That's really kind of what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Like we just get to be total idiots and play around. But it's really just to keep in touch with everyone, and we're trying to figure out like how to maybe get like a way for all of us to stream, but no one has like a room big enough, and our jam spot is like all you can hear is cymbals. So like we need to like find a way to like block the drums off so that we can like do music jams. But for now, we're just gonna focus on just getting together and hanging out with our fans, you know, once a month, whenever we can. Yeah.
So cool. And what's it different to yours? What do you do on your private?
Well, haven't done it in a while, but what I was doing was mostly gaming in the evenings, and then I would do some vocals.
All right. So you also game. Yeah, this fits actually. Right? Yeah.
Whoa. It really sucks because I'm in the middle of Horizon Zero Dawn, and the next one has already come out, and I'm like, I don't want to play it when I'm not on stream. I can't play the next one until I get this bloody room together. So I'm like, oh God, this sucks.
Oh no! So you gotta wait now patiently. Yeah. Or hurry up with the room, but it doesn't work. Oh, no. That's a dilemma right there. Oh man, okay. But actually, so talking about all these stories and stuff, I can see, I mean, I checked out your like music videos, and they're all so different, and like there's always something with it. It's not just performance, there's something always happening, so it kind of fits with you seeing everything in stories and liking this all your life. So who comes up with the stories for your music videos?
Yeah, a lot of times it's Scott and I will kind of brainstorm ideas and come up with things, and then we'll run it by the boys and be like, what do you think about doing this, or you know, that kind of thing. And if they're on board, then we'll run it by the director. We have, you know, a couple that we usually work with, and then for certain videos, you know, there's certain directors that it, you know, plays into their strengths. So once we kind of figure it out, we'll be like, okay, so this is definitely like a Scobie video, or this is a Richard video, and then we'll go to them and we'll be like, can you make this happen? And then yes, but this part no.
Like, no.
How much money do you have?
Guys, Hollywood budget. This is what is needed. Then everything is possible.
Exactly. Yeah. So but usually, you know, Scott and I will talk for months to try and figure things out, because we don't I mean, there's nothing wrong with performance videos. Like we did a studio performance video for Awakening, and it's done really well. So like it's not that we don't like them, we just know that there's so many out there that it's hard to do an original one, you know. So we just try and come up with other ideas to you know, to make the videos interesting and worth watching and worth rewatching maybe. And sometimes they, you know, they fall flat and people are like, this is boring, and sometimes people really like them. So it's just we just kind of talk about it for a long time, though. It's like, well, that's not going to be physically possible, or
well, let's give it a try.
Like, okay, so now we need to fly to the moon in order to, you know, like, so it's just, you know, sometimes
no problem.
sometimes our ambitions are a little far out there, but we do our best.
It's so cool. Who came up with this idea? I love this video with the camping. I mean,
Yeah,
with
that
the
was
Yeti. It was so
yeah.
good. It was so good. I thought this idea came up when you guys were all together having a good time. Then this is where these ideas come up.
Exactly. Yeah. That was like our first ever music video. So we were kind of like, what do we do? That it could be fun and also sort of celebrate where we're from, which is British Columbia. It's just such a beautiful place. And so we're kind of actually a friend of ours was like, why don't you get abducted by a Sasquatch? And we were like, huh. So then we were like, oh yeah, okay, band camping trip, and we'll film it in our where we were living at the time. We were living and jamming in this like weird. It was a weird place. We were like in the industrial area of Vancouver, and so we could jam whenever we wanted. But we also lived in an absolute shithole. But it was pretty funny. And so we're like, we'll film it there, and then we'll go camping, and then we'll do like sort of horror movie style, slasher flick where we each get taken out one by one. But then it'll turn out that the Sasquatch is a metalhead, and he's taking us because he wants us to play. So yeah, it was all it was like an amalgamation of different ideas. Yeah,
it was so good. And who actually played the monster? A friend of yours?
Grant. It was he had just joined the band, but he wasn't actually on that record except for doing a couple solos. So we were like, how do we get Grant in the music video without being like, well, who's that? So we put him in the suit. It was really funny. So
it was just meant to be. It was perfect then.
It totally was. Yeah, it was hilarious. I think the most of the budget was that suit. It was like, honestly, that thing was so expensive. I think it was like $250 for the whole weekend, and we had like a $500 budget. So, yeah, it was like.
But it was worth it. It was worth it, actually.
I know we had like looked at a couple on the internet, and they were just so bad. We were like, no, we need to like go get a legit costume shop Sasquatch.
Oh.
Very important.
Oh wow. And then renting it and not fucking it up, right? Not destroying it or so, otherwise.
Never getting our deposit back. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Which one is the like music video shooting that you remember the most, or the funniest, or I don't know, or it's hard to say, you have so many.
Probably Time Stands Still, which is where we are all coming from different places in time to meet together to like play for this council of heavy metal elders, I guess you could say. And so what we were doing was, it was a bit of a gunslinger vibe where we had this door that was kind of like you would use it to go through dimensions. And so we had to carry this door around, and stupidly we bought a solid oak door. So this thing was so heavy, and we had to carry it like for Grant's part. We carried it out into the middle of this like estuary. It was like a big swampland thing. We had to get away from the road, so we had to carry it so far, and it was so heavy. And by the end of the day, it was just like a frame with like a sort of pedestal bottom that we had built, and it was just like crooked and like the it was so bad. Yeah, like it was pretty beat up by the end of the day. That and having to borrow my dad's truck to carry that thing around, like honestly, there was probably like 10 different locations, always locations, filming a music video is always made harder by how many locations you choose to do that. Yeah, so if you've got to move, and we had to move, and this bloody door,
and
so
the door.
Yeah. Open door.
Great choice.
So like 3 a.m. like all day long. And then the next day we did the theater scenes with the elders, and so that was nice. That was one location, and we just used the alleyways behind the theater for like the meeting up scene or whatever. So no door that day, which was nice. But yeah, but it was intense and long. And it's funny, you just don't think about, like, when you come up with these concepts, you just don't think about all the work that's going to be involved.
And then you're like, why do we do that? Why?
Exactly. And then yeah, but that was probably my most memorable, but also one of my favorite videos. I think I like that one the best. Yeah.
Wow. But isn't it something about these video shootings? There needs to be some kind of pain. Either it's a temperature or something is heavy or all the locations or everything together. There needs to be some kind of suffering. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, exactly. We can't do what we do without pain and suffering.
No, no. Doesn't work. No.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God. All right. Well, so I'm curious what you guys would come up with, the new stuff then. But you have still some time, I guess. That's not the topic yet, I guess.
Well, we're always constantly thinking about it, so hopefully we'll have some ideas put away that we can, have a stack of them that we can just pick and choose from.
Yeah. That's actually then the best. Yeah, definitely. Oh, hey, and are you gonna come to Europe for some festivals now this summer?
Not this summer, but
not at all.
Next summer. We're not too sure yet. We're kind of trying to figure out with the whole timeline of the record what the best idea is. So because we don't, it's not going to come out until 2023, and then it's just a matter of, is it going to be the fall of 23? So should we wait until it comes out, or and then just do like summer 24, or it's just kind of the logistics that we're working out right now. So nothing this year though. We're just going to focus on writing, and it's really hard to sit down
with the new. Yeah.
If you've got shows to play, it takes you away from that whole writing side of things, and you get it. They're two very different headspaces. Yeah.
Hey, definitely. So actually now you can take your time and dive into this whole world. I mean, especially with you doing like these stories and really creating a whole new universe. I think it really helps if you can take your time and concentrate on this and really dive into it. You can, I don't know, how is it for you? Can you just, let's say you have a day and you have 2 hours free. Can you actually sit down and write something, or do you prefer to have a whole day off, or how does it work for you, the creativity flow?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It's really funny because I work better under pressure. So it's like I have ideas and I work on things, but I'm never happy with the outcome of what I've done until it's like studio time is in 3 weeks,
Yeah.
time to get it done, and then I'll be like, just like full focus. But that's like for the lyric side of things. So for the writing side of things, it's a lot of it is just kind of if I have like moments of inspiration, then I'll be like, I need to sit down and write, and then it'll be like 2 hours or whatever of like super creativity. And with me, I'm a night owl. I'm definitely a late night kind of person. So that usually hits at like 11 p.m.
Okay, let's get started.
Exactly. That's when my brain really turns on, is in the nighttime. So it seems to be when it works the best. So, but a lot of times, like when I'm driving, when I've got a long drive ahead of me, I'll do like voice memos into my phone if I come up with something. It's like, it's either late at night or in the car,
Either that or that.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
Or both, maybe together. That would be the best.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Actually.
Super brain. Yeah.
Wow. So actually, can it happen that you work the whole night through, or usually like you go to bed to a certain, like at 3 maybe or something, or could it be that sometimes it just hits you? until the
Yeah,
morning?
I mean, no, yeah, no, I mean, it could, but not usually. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like bursts, like usually it's probably only about like 2 hours when I like really just kind of like have to get everything out, and then I'm
Mm,
like, okay, sit back, come back to
mm,
it later, because
mm,
if you just kind of if you sit there badgering it, a lot of times it's that initial inspiration that is the good stuff, and then when you push it after that, then it's just kind of
mm.
you're just trying to fill the space. So I always like
Yeah.
to just get it out and then come back and look at it and be like, this doesn't make sense. Or like, oh, this is
Yeah.
good, but I'll
Uh-huh.
forget this part or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Oh, this was crap. Oh, I was thinking yesterday night, like
yeah, exactly.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh. All right. Wow, this is very interesting actually. But hey, the time is flying, and I really wanted to talk to you about singing, about vocals, and just quickly too, because I'm very interested. You have this super like heavy metal voice as well. Like, and I read that you have some Iron Maiden is one of your influences. And what else is it? And how did you like find your tone? I mean, you're so versatile, but how did you develop all these colors in your voice? And what's the journey?
Yeah, it was, I mean, at the beginning, I was a chamber singer. So it was very much a
Mm,
classical background, and trying to find exactly that, my heavy metal voice, was difficult because I was just so involved in that sort of scene. So it took a long time, but yeah, bands like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Lost Horizon, Queensryche, um, you know, a few others, Iced Earth. I really just kind of
mm,
listened to vocalists that I loved and worked on emulating what they did with my own voice and constantly pushing.
mm,
And I knew that I had a good range, but I didn't know how to utilize it. So it's been a lot of growth on that side of things as well, figuring out how to, belt without totally destroying my voice and putting a little bit of that
mm,
grit on there. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that classical influence sound, but when I started doing this 15 years ago, it
mm,
was kind of the only sound that was popular for women in metal, and I said, I just don't want to be another. I don't want to be another one of those singers. Nightwish is doing it just fine. Within Temptation, After Forever, they were all killing it, and so I needed to do something that was my own. So I really was focusing a lot on trying to create a power metal kind of vocal style. So it took a while. Lost Horizon was
mm,
probably the one that really helped me to figure it out,
mm,
because Daniel Hyman is like incredible. All
mm.
the different things that he can do, and not only that, but he's doing it over top of these guitar players that are just like all the time, just shredding all the time. And I'm like, how about just some chords for the poor guy, like something that he can write over. But no, he's got it to do these incredible vocal parts over these incredible guitar parts, and I was just really
And
inspired.
uh-huh, he smashed it. Wow. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, and how do you do it technically? Are you like trained, you said chamber singer, classical, and then you developed it yourself, or did you have some
Mm-hmm.
lessons, or how was your journey there?
Yeah, I had only ever had like lessons in classical, so um, the
Mm-hmm,
whole belting thing, I kind of figured it out on my own. And
mm-hmm,
this was not before YouTube, but before there was a million vocal
mm-hmm.
classes on there, and
Yeah.
you can learn how to do anything now. But so it really was just about listening to these singers and being like,
Mm,
how does he do that? How do I do that? And making sure that because I know um, uh, that vocal nodes and destroying your vocal folds is extremely easy,
mm,
especially for belters. And so I was constantly aware of never pushing, but kind of always pushing. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
yeah, it's like you have this kind of elastic that you're just constantly sort of moving against, and you just move it up a little bit, and then it's like, okay, this feels really good, and it's not doing any damage or anything. And so you're just testing the limits, really.
Yeah.
And eventually I just kind of slowly figured out how to do it just through, listening to, and like really listening, like not just being like, oh, he sounds like this, but like picturing his placement when I'm listening and doing it myself. So it's like, oh, he's putting it, that's all on the soft palette. Like, holy cow. Okay. So how do I do that? And, what's required, and, and just like working on the diaphragm like crazy, because if you've got a powerful diaphragm, if that's your strongest, piece of equipment, you can do anything.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Yeah. So there's been times where I've been like, okay, going for this note, like, let's see if I can do it. But because my diaphragm's in shape, my brain is like, you're not going to hit it. You're not going to hit it. My body's like, oh, hell yeah, you are. And it does for you. Yeah. Like those moments are just, so that's been really important. I had a lesson from a friend of my grandparents who was a professor at Oxford in the music school there.
Oh,
and
cool.
He really was just like, this is how you work out your diaphragm. It's all about the diaphragm. This is what you need to do. And so but that was like back in the day when I was still trying, doing the classical thing. So he was like, if you want to do what those opera singers can do, he's like, you need to work on your diaphragm. But then I used that, and I was like, applied it to heavy metal. So this is really kind of where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah, the support, right? The whole diaphragm thingy. It's the bass. I guess I don't know if it's exactly the same like classical or heavy metal. I don't know but I think the bass is all about the support.
Always. And no matter what you do, even if it's death metal screams or black metal growls, it's always important.
The support. Yeah.
So much more when you have a diaphragm there. You could do phrases that last 16 bars. You know what I mean? Like, if you work on your diaphragm, it's the foundation. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. But how is it for you now these days? Are you still like training? Are you still exercising, or is exercising actually when you do your work for your band and so on? Or do you actually have time to do this? Do you take your time?
I don't stay as fit as when I am touring. Definitely not, because in order to stay in that shape all the time, my neighbors would hate me. So like I'm always singing, and I'm always I haven't really had too much time lately, but I like to do cardio and that kind of thing to keep my endurance up, that kind of thing. But no, for the most part, I just kind of chill out until I know that it's time to either hit the studio or go on tour and that kind of thing. And then that's when I'll start kind of ramping it up again. It takes about like 6 weeks to 2 months to get into belting shape to do what I do. So, I mean, but I just don't bother staying in that kind of shape all the time. It's just too much.
No, it will come again. Now you will concentrate on music writing, and then you will have your time touring again and performing, and that's the nice thing. Yeah, it's nice to have both sides. Yeah, that's so true. Oh, hey, so cool. And is there a last thing, maybe something that will come that you want to tell us now about your band or about you, maybe a collaboration, or just let us know now for the end? That would be cool if you have anything.
I mean, nothing really. I have a couple things that are going to be released this year with some guest vocal projects, but those are still a little ways away. So, but nothing crazy. Last year was too much. I was like doing way too much. I think I had like something releasing every month with someone different. So I was just like, this year I'm like, no guest vocals, just need to focus on our project. But we do have a couple things that we're going to be doing. So we'll be announcing those shortly. And then, but for the most part, it's just writing the new record and
Yeah.
D&D streams on Twitch. Yeah.
All right. Hey, but there's things coming. That's really cool that we can look forward to. Hey, cool. Hey, thank you so much, Brittney. That was really cool to hear everything about your journey and creativity flows. And yeah, it was very nice to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. It was my pleasure. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Hey, and thank you everybody that joined here. And I hope to see you on the next episode somewhere. So thank you again, Brittney, for joining us tonight.
No worries.
Awesome.
Yeah, and everyone, I was watching your chat, so I did see all your messages and everything. So.
Yeah, right. But sometimes when you talk, it's so hard to keep track on both. But I was also following, and thank you so much, everybody, for commenting and being here with us. So cool. Yes. All right, everybody, take care and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.